apart from a tree, knows that they want to come and cut him and remain standing. Only a tree. We have to get the communities to rise and defend themselves first. And the time to start it is now. When you move out from here, I do that every day. I come from a village in Ijebu land, Ogun State, and I talk to my people. I know the level of armament they are entitled to. I know how they organize themselves in quarters. We have 4 quarters. I am using my expertise to guide them. You cannot wait for the military to come and do everything.
Hi guys, President announced yesterday that all 38 people that were kidnapped in the Kwara church have regained their freedom. Also that 50 out of the over 300 people kidnapped in Niger have also returned home. There was no mention of any arrests being made, no mention of whether any ransom was paid, no mention of anyone being apprehended and brought to book. This does not cut it. It is just not enough.
Hello, na Nigeria insecurity wahala. Carry me come this class again this morning to give you updates in case you never know, and to also cross-check some other things when they happen around us, so that you too you go dey informed. Let's see. As you may already know, worshippers abducted from Kwara church regain freedom. They've regained freedom. Those people that they kidnapped from this church. This is the video.
Somebody should help them now. Hey. No, let them. Hold on. Space, you are right. Space, you are right. Space, you are right.
Okay, ma rush it. Don't rush it. Small.
We need a nurse here.
The thing not shock you? You saw children, you saw old mama, they know the pity for person. These terrorists, they know the pity for anybody. These Fulani terrorists. Hear what this guy they talk.
It was just a sudden act, suddenly, and a terrifying act. Because that evening, after like 30 minutes to the program, we started the program by, I think, around 5. So like 30 minutes to the program, after all the praises, we just heard gunshot. Even to my own perspective, I didn't know it was gunshot. I think it was just sparkling of some wire. But by the time we get, they surrounded the whole church. Even some people, they begin to narrate that they are seeing drop of blood everywhere.
Now, from that Tuesday to today, when you are released, what is the situation right there inside the bush?
It was unimaginable, because when we got there, we really know that it was a dominated area by these evil people called bandits. Even they have the courage to tell themselves that we are bandits, and they make us to know that there's no one that can just slip away without being caught. And with what we see, nobody can escape. From that place they have dominated. they've knew all the routes surrounding all those bushes within Kwara and other states.
You hear what that guy talk? He thought say they declare say they be bandits. He thought say they know the route for the forest. No wonder Gani Adams said the main plan na to invade southwest.
Kogi and Kwara, it's just like a buffer zones to southwest. And what they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is just a test of ground to start the major attacks in the southwest. The information in our disposal is that they want to attack Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State.
Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State. You have it on good authority.
Yeah, Ondo, Ekiti, and Lagos State.
Very dark man said we are surrounded.
They are practically coming for everybody. You see, this country is surrounded. I've been saying this thing since. The country is surrounded. The country is surrounded. They are in our midst. They are behind us. They are close to us. May God help us. But I promise you, they are coming for everybody. Nowhere is safe. Don't even think where you are staying now is safe. There's nowhere that is safe. As I speak to you now, there's no place.
They know the forest more than the owner of the forest. And they are there in quantum, in numbers. From the way that guy explained it, it looks like bandits have taken over parts of Kwara. If that is true, it means we should hear about another kidnapping incident. We thank God say they release them all. Glory be to God. But what is the way forward? Again, how were they released? And the question where people they ask me this, how were they released? Una pay money, abi una no pay money. Or una go fight to rescue them. It's a true fight. We for hear casualties, we know here. It means say this is the actual possibility. Definitely, and they think say they go not pay money, so they calculate so that they go bring those people where they kidnap out to look good in the hands of international community. May they no kill anybody. How much they want, they go give them. That's why they calculate that. If they were rescued, why was no single arrest? Have the police gone to check the area or even fly a drone over the bandits' location? Remember that guy said they've occupied vast lands of the forest. They don't go fly anything. What did they do for there? It means that as long as they are there, they go continue to cause havoc. Yoruba leaders, no na consult so they go Gani Adams. We must not all depend on state security alone. Give them access, empower them, allow them to enter the forest. They can't, because as I see also from what that guy said, it means before you know it, another story. Unless we don't agree say go take them as part of our life, as part of our reality. No, we'll continue. Una not say President Tinubu himself announced this rescue on X. He said, my fellow Nigerians, you will record that I cancelled my trip to the G20 summit in South Africa to enable me coordinate the security efforts at home. Thanks to the efforts of our security forces over the last few days, all the 38 worshippers adopted in Eruku, Kwara State, have been rescued. He wrote many other things. Sahara reporters also read everything. Their teams went through the comments. See what these Sahara reporters can drop. What happened to the kidnappers? Nigerian troops questioned Tinubu government following release of 38 Kwara church worshippers. This announcement under the comment section, people they ask some questions. What happened to the kidnappers? We could read what is Sahara reporters point from the comment. So these are from Sahara reporters. If you go there, go read. According to this person, Asiwaju Lere, it is not enough that the adopted victims are released. We need to know how they were released and what happened to their abductors. If you are going to be accountable, at least be 100% while at it. If you want to tell us something about the rescue, tell us everything. Tell us the details. After all, you don't rescue them finish. Me, they don't go fit talk say they pay money so that they don't go encourage others. 2, at banking 443. He didn't say anything about the adopters. You rescued over 80 persons from their kidnappers and no news about whether or not they were caught or killed. It means you pay heavy ransom for their release. Nigerian government is paying ransom to Fulani bandits. We are not safe in this country. From Sahara reporters. Another one, ISO of skincare. Sir, this is not update enough. Why Charlie Kirk was shot? Did you see how Trump released updates in details? Did you see how the FBI dropped evidences of how they caught the shooter? How can you just give a vague statement without details? How were they released? What happened to the adopters? How will justice be served? Because if this one is not done, we go see here another one. If you don't catch thief, another thing go say, they know they catch person for there. we can easily do it and go free. That's what I say. 4. This person, Duchess of Ile-Ife. The question I have is, I hope we are not paying these bandits because we are not seeing situation reports of annihilation of their base of operations. If those abducted were rescued, pay them is threatening them. Pay them is what? Threatening them. Finally, from Sahara reporters at Premier 100, all the 38 were recovered, but nothing happened to the terrorists who abducted them. And you want us to believe you didn't negotiate or pay ransom? Who knows when they will come back to kidnap more or where else they will attack? Get it together, Mr. President. Nonsense.
Hi guys, President announced yesterday that all 38 people that were kidnapped in the Kwara church have regained their freedom. Also that 50 out of the over 300 people kidnapped in Niger have also returned home. There was no mention of any arrests being made, no mention of whether any ransom was paid, no mention of anyone being apprehended and brought to book. This does not cut it. It is just not enough. And I'm tired of one tweet here, one hashtag there, one post there, complaining on social media. We need to do more. We need to do a lot more. Some people have contacted me about a possible peaceful protest later on in the week. That is always a great avenue. However, this is what I think we can do as a matter of urgency. Every citizen needs to call, text, WhatsApp, email, whatever it is, bombard your reps and senators with messaging. However, for this to be effective, I think we all need to be saying the same thing. If there is one message that they're consistently getting, they would have no choice but to listen. We need to call for a public hearing, for broadcast on live TV, live streamed for anybody anywhere in the world to watch. So many billions and billions being budgeted and released for acquisition of arms and ammunition. But what's happening? Why is the military still ill-equipped? Why are military convoys still being ambushed by these criminals? Why was an army general murdered on video?
Meanwhile, Gomi don't compare Fulani bandits and IPOB. He thought say IPOB, they attack our security forces. They buy them. When I heard that, I said, it's like Buhari was just looking for a narrative from the south to counter what was going on in the north during his time. That was why he rushed to label those ones terrorists. Why those were the ransacked villages? Why people were never named terrorists, but they were tagged bandit. Because now they want a narrative from the south to say, they say, they are evil wars. Gumi is saying, S-men, now business they do. They are businessmen. What type of business? They carry children, not to kill them. They kidnap them to make money. It's just business. Don't equate it with what is going on in the southeast. Those ones, they buy. See, and this is my poster. The S-men are not like IPOB. They are kidnapping children to make money. Let's be fair with them. Share Gumi.
When you ask a battery of questions, how do you expect me to convince you? Let me step one by one. IPOB is attacking the police, is attacking the army, is attacking INEC, government institutions, killing our men in service. And the herdsmen are kidnapping children, not to kill them, to get money. So how can you compare somebody who's killing our gallant men in the armed forces directly, attacking them, to somebody who's kidnapping children to make money, not to kill them? Look, we need some fairness in what we are doing.
You see, so this is their spokesperson. They'll be so happy. Yes, he's telling them that we are just taking them for business now. And he's still working freely. Tell me another person that can be this bold in Nigeria. It be like say they get something where Sabi, where federal government they fear. I don't know how to call out. One guy don't drop solution to this matter, to this madness. Listen.
3 days back, bandits attack a village in Sabumblini, Babamnu village in Katsina State. What they did is they kidnapped some villages, took them to the bush. The same way they did in Kwara State. They attack a church and they pick some church members, demanding for 100 million each. That amounted to 3.8 billion naira. For how many people? 38 people, a bit 32 people. So this bandit that is no longer seen on edge to Nigeria, they went to this village, Babanu village in Sabombilini local government in Kaduna state. They decided to kidnap some villagers, then they took into the bush. So the villagers and some vigilante, they sit together, they say, no, we know those people, we know those bad people. There is no way, no how we go allow this thing to go like this. This is what we are going to do. Let us go to the people, the family of those people, and also kidnap them. They went there, they also picked their brothers and their parents to the bush. So when bandits call for negotiation, they say, oh God, no worry. He don't buy those one for there. We go buy this one this side. Or else, you return our people back, we return your parents and your brothers back to you. You know what happened? Trade by barter occur without any problem. So after 2 or 3 days, those villagers were not willing to release those family members. So bandits, they first of all release those people that they kidnapped first time, giving them 30,000 naira as transport fare to come back to their villages before the villages release their family members back to them. You see, as this equation don't balance, if you know somebody that is your problem, you know the solution to give that person. Now, bandits don't do business, the business not even can work. Now they even can spend money out on top. After kidnapping somebody, demanding for ransom for so days, you discover that your parent and your brothers are still with that person you kidnapped his brother too. So you end up returning the adopted person, giving him 30,000 naira transport. You see, as up there they come for naught now. Sokoto people, Buhari people, really try things they work like this. Nigeria for better now.
You don't hear us so. Now I remember say the current DSS boss don't first suggest something like this. And because if you look at it, say we have 20 communities in a particular local government. Bandits attack this, attack this, attack this, attack this, attack this. At the same time, if police come here, army come here, it go too much. So the first point of response, now the people themselves, self-defense, 9 in the talk, at least 9 months ago.
About the practical approach to mobilizing to curb insecurity. I'll share experience with you when I was state director in Bauchi. Most of you will remember an incident in Azare. A group of terrorists, the Boko Haram, then had invaded Azare. They were shooting in an attempt to kidnap, and the community chased them. They killed some members of the community, but the community members killed all of them. The last guy, Khalid, climbed onto a tree and was firing. The community stood, they were resilient, and they killed Khalid. Since that day, there has not been one terrorist attack in Azare. As a matter of fact, the former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, said, and I quote, if we want to stop or curb this terrorism, we should emulate the Azare example. Tafawa Balewa also happened to be a local government in Bauchi that was always in flames. And the people of Bogoro and some part of Tafawa Balewa, where the Sayawas are, rose up on one occasion. They knew their terrain better, climbed onto trees and mountains. And when the invaders came, they did not only repel them, they seized their weapons. And since then, you can attest to it that you hardly hear about Tafawa Balewa again. What I'm trying to say, the practical approach to mobilizing people, is that you have to get everyone involved. You do not expect the Nigerian army, police, DSS, to protect every Nigerian or every community. It is not going to work. In the US, if you visit someone in the house, you'll be shocked that when the guy hears a police siren, he will just pull his drawer, bring out his gun and keep it. So one of my hosts did that, and I asked him, why are you putting gun here? He said, well, if they're chasing someone, and he enters my house, I'll shoot him first. And that is the layer we have to start thinking about. How can you create first line of defense. The military, police, and other security agencies are to deal with the bigger ones, the organized ones. But it is impossible for us to deploy it to every community in the country. It is unimaginable that any security agencies that has the resources to do it. So as we live here, we all belong to one community or the other. What we have to start experimenting is how we can make the community to prepare first, if the first line of defense for us. General Wahab said it clearly. And for me, there are 3 takeaways from his lecture. By the way, the general and I were guest speaker at one program in our office, so I'm not surprised that it's a dexterity. He has developed some sort of expertise in what he does. But 3 things for me. He asked us a question. What is our own culture? Our culture is communal. We do things together. Festival together. Ceremonies together. Wedding ceremony, whatever. So why can't we fight some miscreants, some charlatans among us together? The community should say, you cannot come here. This is what Tafawa Balewa has done. If you go to that community to attack them, you'll be sorry for yourself. I challenge anybody to try it. And this is the way we have to do. We have to allow some level of armament for the communities, and they can serve as the first line of defense. Second takeaway from what the general said. Whole society approach is not the first time we are hearing. But what I'm saying, the way to do it is when we live here, those of us who have some influence, the elites in society, discuss with your communities, come to us, get some sort of approval and guidance, and then we can stop these criminals. You can imagine you call sector, let's say sector 4 or whatever, sector of the army, to come to this community if there's an attack. Before they even arrive there, if they attack another community, what happens? This is what we should take away from here. And lastly, he said something very instructive. By the way, I like Osman. He knows who to give time. Have you seen him around here? He has advised himself. Okay. So don't run into trouble like the CDS. Okay, so last thing he said to us, which is quite important, is that we should not make this another talk show. And that's why this is my intervention. That security starts from you. There's nothing that is new. 1870 something, I can't remember. The French Revolution, in the street of Paris, they were beheading people. We've had hijack of plane. We'll forget quickly. We've had the wet ear syndrome. We had so many. There's no Matasini and whatever. There will always be security problems. So when I hear people say this is security in Nigeria, as long as human beings exist, there will be security problems. The issue is the response. We have to take that mentality away. What is the security agencies doing? Who, apart from a tree, knows that they want to come and cut him and remain standing? Only a tree. We have to get the communities to rise and defend themselves first. And the time to start it is now. When you move out from here, I do that every day. I come from a village in Ijebu land, Ogun State, and I talk to my people. I know the level of armament they are entitled to. I know how they organize themselves in quarters. We have 4 quarters. I am using my expertise to guide them. You cannot wait for the military to come and do everything.
You see, also self-defense. They should empower local vigilante, local forces. Give them another name. That's the way out. That is the way out. Otherwise, it will continue. Meanwhile, another one don't come on. Say the Kaduna state, where everybody believe say, this new governor, it's nice. Some things do allegedly. That say the government they help to actualize the mission, the original intention of the invader of South Kaduna. Let me talk more. Look at this. Sahara reporters, what? Kaduna government bans journalists from visiting villages left empty by bandit attack amid false claims of villagers' return. They say the government thought say villagers they don't return back to their town. But if you go check, they can say if you be journalist, no go there. Before you listen to this, make we see Kaduna government bans journalists from visiting villages left empty by bandit attacks amid false claims of villagers' return. So you can see the Kaduna state government under Governor Ubasani has reportedly instructed security agencies to ban journalists without official clearance from accessing villages deserted after bandit attacks. So that means don't report the issue, make we look good. Because if this is true, this is actually supporting the original mission of the invader to take their lands. It means there is government conniver where people they allege, even from Washington. The directive is believed to have followed a report by Kaduna-based journalist Luka Biniyat of Truth Nigeria, which the government considered unfavorable. Say, waiting they do so, they waka waka for villages where they don't desert, it no good. Biniyat's reports and video recordings contradicted the government's narrative on its peace deal with bandits and its claims that the displaced residents had returned to their ancestral homes. He was said to have visited the abandoned Kujeni community in Kajuru and affected areas in Chuku local government area, that is Sata Kaduna. In one instance, an investigative journalist attempted to visit deserted communities in Kajuru, Chiku, and Binigwari local government areas to assess the effectiveness of the widely promoted government peace model. When they promote say they don't return them, we'll go check by ourselves. Was stop. They no allow and go check. He won't go check whether within this government they thought, this Kaduna state government they thought say they don't assist people when they display from their village, return back to their villages. We'll go check. They no let them go. Okay? But security personnel, after they spotted his cameras and other equipment, because they say he carry cameras, equipment to show evidence. You can't go in. You get the point now. The security operative manning checkpoints in Kajuru local government insisted he could only proceed with clearance from the government house. It later emerged that access is primarily granted to journalists considered friendly and whose work aligns with government public relations effort. The one where they support government narratives. Despite the rudeness of the security operative, the investigating journalists took risk and assessed some areas. Now, one of the journalists who took risk with this, listen to him.
My name is Luka Biniyat. I am basically a conflict reporter, and I write for Truth Nigeria. Where I am right now, it's a village, once very prosperous village, that belonged to the Azare ethnic nationality, who are basically Christians. The name of this place is called Kujeni, and is in Kajuru County in Kaduna State. This place is part of the Middle Belt because they identify as the ethnic Christians of northern Nigeria, fall in the Middle Belt. It is impossible to imagine the life that was here. These people have been living here peacefully for centuries. And around me, though you could see some ruins still standing, this used to be a very dense community, highly populated with schools, with churches, with playgrounds, and everything that will make a village community happy. But today, you wouldn't believe that there were ever structures here. What the villagers do now, after they have been chased out severally, until they could no longer hold to defend themselves, they had to leave the village. The ones that you may be seeing around just come around to tend to the farm produce that they farmed during the rainy season. Luckily for them, the Fulani herdsmen, who have been their perpetual tormentors, have not eaten up these crops like we have seen in other places. This Kujeni is about 80 miles southwest of Kaduna metropolis. It is now an empty space, and it's not only this place. Coming here is quite a big security challenge. We had to pass through a lot of military checkpoints on the way, and we had to persuade them to leave us. But apart from that, there are many other communities. In fact, from what have been listed to us, there are over 52 of these communities, and they include Kujeni Dutse, Kwakwari, Kakuku, Ungwam Puda, Ungwam Madaki, Ungwam Barde. I've been to Ungwam Barde. It was the first place that the Fulanis launched attack in 2019 and killed 11 people. The place has been sacked now. There's also Gindingada, there is Itisi, there is even Ivanaturu, among many others. These are largely Christian communities that have been displaced. We heard that, of course, it's true, that the governor of Kaduna State, Ubasani, had granted these bandits, these Fulani herdsmen, the armed militia of the Fulani wing, what he calls state pardon and amnesty, and in fact integrated them into society by rehabilitating them, including complete Medicare for the repentant, so-called repentant bandits. But as villagers will tell us, there is nothing like repentance among them because they have not been able to return to their homes. Almost 2 years since Governor Obasani granted them that amnesty. So the villagers are very excited with the announcement by Trump that Nigeria is now a country of concern. So I have come here to make on-the-spot assessment if it is true what government have been claiming, that the amnesty granted the bandits has resulted to the return of displaced villagers. There is nothing like that. There is no welfare for them. There is still no sufficient security for them. In fact, as we go around, you'll be hearing it from the horses' mouth themselves.
You don't hear us. Everything jaga jaga. Now they say also. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj, see they use her voice, her platform to the support victim of genocide in Nigeria. Now she posted this one yesterday. What did she post? I don't bring her come out. That is this. I don't bring her come out. Read down. Dear God, release your immediate intervention in this matter. Rescue the hostages and may the peace that surpasses all understanding fall upon their families right now. Lord, we know your power. With faith and thanksgiving in advance, we claim victory in the mighty name of Jesus. Some people talk last say when they go make that speech, they support Nigerian victims of genocide. Some people will follow them. How many people? They play. When I talk say Nicki Minaj go first make heaven before many pastors for this country, Kwara and Azare, when I say how they play. I met every word. She keeps speaking for the people in captivity. Even when it is not a fight, she uses her voice with courage. But many of our big celebrities stay silent because they fear being seen as exposing the government. It hurts that a woman thousands of miles away is shouting for our people. Why those who live close to them in Nigeria, where they support them, their children, they support them, they play their music, mostly in Nigeria. I don't talk, to say, to look good. Now don't say so. What do you think? Drop up a comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.